ESL 1 is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Asus Republic of Gamers, and Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to ESL 1 Mumbai 2019. I have some fabulous gentlemen here with me, Lacoste, Gareth, I'm Lyrical as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed day number 1. More action to come, continuing on now as we're taking a look from the Cologne studios. And guys, man, we had some fabulous Dota. We're going to talk a lot about it today. We're going to talk about the other match that we're going to be taking a look at first. But first of all, how was your morning? You guys had a nice little one?
I still didn't wake up. I'm not a morning person.
Neither of us are morning people.
What time is it? It's 8 a.m.
Early o'clock.
Yeah. It's a bit too early, but it's never too early for Dota.
We've got smiles on our faces regardless of the time.
That's right. I think that it's an exciting time to be watching too, because for me at least, the tournament has not turned out the way that I expected it. We'll get into the specifics of the match that we're looking at later, but at least it's just sort of a little bit of a primer for what we saw yesterday. We had Team that went 2-0, Keen Gaming that went 2-0. We'll take a look at the groups in a little bit, but right here at the beginning, I mean, was there anything that really stood out to you from the matches that we watched for any team that sort of broke expectations?
I don't think there were any real upsets or surprises, but I think the game last night that Keen Gaming took off Maneski at the very end in that final series, that's the one that sticks in. Like I couldn't fall asleep straight away last night. I was still mulling that over in my head, like how did Maneski lose that game? Because it was insane.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Troll and PA. It looks like your public draft, but right. It was actually not. They executed it pretty good, even though they were playing from behind for the first 15 minutes. They still managed to come back into the game, which is pretty insane. We can also point out the mistakes that Maneski made in those games. They were kind of not playing to win. They were afraid to actually try to finish the game. But as you mentioned, it was really insane that they managed to win that game.
Because you're playing PA Troll into Wyvern, Enigma, and
Kunkka.
Yeah, exactly. All of these.
Before the BKB came out, they kept on winning fights somehow with the only stun being Nyx Assassin. Somehow that works, apparently. Dota 2 is an interesting game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see a lot of them, but Team on the other stream, they were able to go 2-0 throughout the groups. We did see TNC play, and I thought they looked pretty good, but they were still able to wipe them out. So that does set us up for a very exciting day number 2, as we're going to try and finish off the rest of these group stages, at least the large extent, the large majority of them, and then we get ready for the main event, which is going to be taking place afterwards in the arena there in Mumbai. So exciting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed again, and a lot to keep our eyes on as well. The ESL MVP vote, that's going to be something else to keep in mind. You can keep track of all of the social media stuff as well if you want. Hashtag ESL1 Mumbai. I almost said Cologne because that's where we are, but that's not actually what it is. But yeah, we're just sort of getting ourselves underway here. Do you guys want to talk at all about sort of the first match that we've got today?
No. Why would? Yeah,
no, that's why we're
Signify
here.
against the Pango. I think this is maybe going to be one of our closer games on this stream. Signify we've not seen yet, but I've cast them a bunch through a couple of leagues. Saw them at the tournament in Mumbai a couple of weeks ago, and they look solid. They're a good team. They haven't proven themselves against European squads or Chinese squads, so it's going to be a massive challenge for them. But
it's not going to be a massive challenge. Right. You told me before we came here, Signify is going to do 0 Pango.
Okay, so in context, I think this tournament is a challenge for them, talking about Chinese teams and European teams, but I think this matchup specifically against the Pango, I think Signify will 2-0 them.
Okay.
I was getting there, Lacoste.
It's a bold prediction. You got to build up to all of that bold prediction.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by the Pango. Even though they swapped some of the players, they're still looking shaky. Their performance is not the greatest. I would point out the position 5/6 that they're playing right now.
/7/8.
Yeah,
boots at 25 minutes.
It's so hard to play Dota right now. You need to play it greedy. Either have position 4 or position 5 who's extremely greedy, and then you can make stuff happen. Like, you can't just afford to be a guy who buys wards.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the big thing to watch is going to be how well are they able to sort of keep up with the new meta that we've been seeing of actually having a hero that has farm in your position 5. Very, very important. But I think that we are going to save a lot of that other stuff for the pre-match when that eventually does come around. We've still got a little while until game time. The other stream is just getting started as well. So be sure to stay tuned because there's a lot more action to come before we get ready to hop into our first game of the day. It's going to be Signify versus Pango right after this.
Previously on ESL 1 Birmingham.
What a dream way to begin the day.
And now we continue. Get ready for the Birmingham Brawl.
It's time! There is no place like home. Universe goes down. Look at the swing. Asher coming in with the combo. GG is called.
ESL 1 Birmingham 2019.
Think he can't shine through the dark? Stream a Roshan Steele in high resolution? And record a play for the history books? Watch this. Think he can't make a victory go viral? Watch this. Think a support can't be in the spotlight? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, a legend can rewrite his own legacy. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. Remember where you came from. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
No matter what your passion is, soccer, rugby, racing, or esports, become a part of the experience with the moments we deliver.
ESL 1 is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Asus Republic of Gamers, and Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the Vodafone pre-match as we get ready to go into game number 1 of this best-of-3 series. It's Signify facing off against the Pango. I think we could take a little bit of a second here to have each of you talk about these teams in turn. Because, Gary, you just watched Signify, and Lacoste, you know a lot of the players in the Pango, and I'm sure you flame them in your pubs consistently.
Oh, yeah. A couple of them are probably muted as well. Ghostic, that's probably their best player, in my opinion, because he's always been a stable guy. His positioning in team fight is always good. Give him something that has a blink dagger initiation. He will start a fight so others can follow up. I already talked about position 6 player and Naive. I don't think he's involved in a lot of the kills. He needs to be more active, maybe play with Ghostic, or if they pick a different mid hero for Iceberg. He's known to stomp most of his matchups. Yesterday he played a Dead Prophet. That's not the hero that is a strongest laner, so it's pretty hard for him to actually snowball. Give him something snowbally, a Shadow Fiend, a Queen of Pain, something like that, so he can actually play aggressive.
I mean, is that the way that you want to try and play, though? Like, I guess that if they were struggling yesterday, the idea is just to stomp the lanes. And I guess Signify is a team that doesn't really have the most experience on these international lanes. Maybe they come into it with some nerves or something?
That may be the case. They had their first kind of run at Cobex a couple of weeks ago, so they got to play against Detonator and Tigers and kind of, kind of break the bread with them in that sense. So they've got a bit of experience under their belts now, playing in front of a home crowd for that in Mumbai. Now again, they're looking to play in front of the home crowd for ESL 1. And they're a team that can play very, very well when they get that kind of 5-man group up and push towards objectives. They're very good at reacting, TPing to their shrines and defending their cores. Okay. I think that's something that we look towards them for most certainly. They can be a little easy to read in the draft, though, I feel. They're kind of Grimstroke, Lich, Beastmaster, Doom. They're one of those teams, right, that look for a combo. They look for that team fight combo that they play out. And if that doesn't work, things can look a little bit rough. But they've got Swifty in the mid lane, who's an exceptionally good playmaker on heroes like Puck and Lina. And I think if he has a good game, Signify are just going to roll this.
Yeah, I saw some of their drafts. I didn't watch them play. Didn't have the opportunity. But Queen of Pain with Mech.
Yeah, we saw that he tried.
It's coming.
He tried that kind of Rod of Atos into Greaves build, and I loved it. He was the guy I was talking about yesterday. I couldn't remember the player, but it was him.
Okay.
He went for the Rod of Atos Greaves on Queen of Pain, and by 16, 17 minutes, they were just pushing high ground. Because Quop doesn't really need any other items. If she doesn't need to buy a Yules, if the game doesn't call for it, you can go for this kind of utility sustain build and just look for pickoffs.
Well, I mean, that's something that we've seen more and more often is like Quap, even back as when it was Serenity that was playing in a lot of different of those games. They had the Quap Blink Dagger with the Dagon build. Like you can get a little bit crazy just because she has so much mobility and like so many different pieces to her kit. But I'm glad you talked about Swifty because he's a player, I was looking at them all the way back in 2016 when they were trying to qualify for TI as part of, God, what was the name of the team?
Entity?
Not Entity, is the one before that. It was, God, I just had it up a second ago and I'm terrible. I'm sorry. It was Beyond Infinity.
Ah, yeah.
So that was the other team where it was both him and Blizzy. So they've had that connection together for a really long time. And back then I was like, these teams are going to go somewhere. They ended up getting knocked out by TNC from the TI qualifiers way back when. And now they're playing, against these same teams and showing up a couple years later. You know what that's like, coming back after a long time away from Dota, right?
What do you mean, playing professionally or just coming back into the scene?
I don't know. I was just trying to jab at you. I'm not good at jabbing at people.
It took him 3 tweets this morning. He's going to take him 3 jabs to try and get a good insult out of us.
Don't look at my Twitter feed. It was terrible. I like kept on just trying to hit the button, and I was just always something wrong. But yeah, I guess that's the thing. Is it's like these guys that have been grinding together for a very long time and trying to make it happen, and now they're getting a chance when the tournaments start coming to India. They're ready to play.
Yeah, I'm always up and ready to watch some locals play Dota against the better teams. It's really good for the growth of the scene, and it's a great opportunity for them. Most of them probably just watch them play online, and now they have an opportunity to play against some of those teams.
I think it's especially apparent in that region of the world as well, where they're kind of trapped in that sort of server vacuum. Right. Where Southeast Asia has Southeast Asia, Europe has Europe, but for India, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, they kind of either have to play into Europe or play into Southeast Asia, and the ping can be a legitimate issue.
Yeah.
So playing on LAN is a huge thing for these guys.
Western Asia region win.
Yeah.
That's the real dream.
I mean, there is an Indian server, but
right.
I don't believe it works.
I mean, a slot for each of these tournaments.
Yeah,
that's what I'm waiting for. That's what we need next. I know that Paul is always a big proponent of getting the South African leagues. Like, there's a lot of those that I think Australia, India.
Yeah.
You went even to a tournament. Both of you did, didn't you? To Turkmenistan.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of the Olympics, so it wasn't a local thing by any means.
Right.
But we had some local teams playing, and
oh, we did, yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Is that this is like, Dota is such a global phenomenon that there are these regions that are just below the periphery. They're not in the top tier, but they can start to make some things happen. And as connectivity issues become less and less of a concern, it's something to watch for. And there's the Grimstroke. He talked about it.
You called it. So next pick probably gonna be Doom, I assume.
Doom,
I don't find Lich that strong of a hero anymore. Same for Grimstroke, though. But if you can make it work, I think Grimstroke and Doom is pretty much the only playable combo right now. And Grimstroke is position 5 right now because he got nerfed so much, and he doesn't need that many items. If he can somehow get himself to level 10, get the GPM going, and get an item, ideally it would be a Glimmer Cape so you can hide yourself. And the Pango with the Beastmaster, that's going to be a Ghost X hero.
I like the steal away. In case Signify were thinking Beastmaster, they steal it away from them. It does give away that it's a pos for Enigma, but I guess in this kind of meta, it's almost guaranteed that's going to happen regardless, right?
Exactly. I don't think Beastmaster can be played at any other role right now.
Than 3, yeah.
I think that the other thing is the big hero I always love to see with Grimstroke is Shadow Shaman. And I don't think you can do that now into Beastmaster, Enigma. I don't think you can put enough pressure on, like we saw yesterday when Silencer just tried to walk up the hill. He just got completely obliterated by Eidolons. And it's the same type of thing. I don't think you can contest Enigma's farm.
Shadow Shaman's better than Silencer. With Ether Shock, you can...
Everybody's better than Silencer.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. I'll shut up.
I guess you're right, though, that he can kill off Eidolons at the very least.
Yeah, but he gave him some ass spanking later with just pressing one button, staying away from fight as far as possible.
Tower. I think the other option for Signify is maybe on the off chance they pick Lina here, just grab Swifty's hero early, because second phase bans, I feel like the Pango will start to focus the Puck Enigma, one or both of those heroes, just to remove them from the pool. Or they go for a
an early Phantom Lancer pick.
But I guess you know what the lane is going to be already coming into it, right? Like, you know that it's going to be Beastmaster Enigma.
Yeah.
Is that enough that you can pressure the PL? Like, how do you beat PL in the patch today? Like, it doesn't feel like he's the same type of hero where he just takes over a game.
Try lane against him.
I don't think it's needed. Beastmaster plus Enigma, it's more than fine. Enigma will deny some of the XP, and they have a kill potential with the Grimstroke and PL on a Beastmaster, but still, he can survive, and Enigma gets Helmet of the Dominator around 7-8 minute mark, and then Beastmaster will probably be level 6, and that's when they decide to make an action, probably take a tower. Because you make an action around 8-9 minute mark with Enigma, try to grab a kill, stay there because catapults are going to spawn around 10 minute mark and try to take a tower.
And then bounty runes.
Yeah.
I guess the other nice thing is that you're going to be able to consistently block the small camps. There isn't going to be that pulls for Grimstroke that he kind of relies on to rack up the experience. Like, this is a hero that has to get that extra level of experience. So
if they didn't pick Beastmaster this early, I'm pretty sure that they would give Ghostic Legion Commander against the Phantom Lancer and the Grimstroke lane, because you have a strong Dispel, You have AoE against the illusions, and it's one of the heroes that he just plays great.
You just love Legion too.
I do. It's such a shame that Legion is in a state where he's basically, I'm not going to call him unplayable, but it's a really situational hero.
Yeah.
A lot of push coming out from Pango, Jakiro, Beastmaster, Enigma. All those summons will have attack speed, a lot of pushing power. I'm not sure if this Jakiro is position 5. They might switch it to a core.
We need more wave clear from Signify for sure. Grimstroke, Stroke of Fate, not going to be enough to clear through Beastmaster, Enigma, all the summons.
God, if Pango go for like a Lycan or something a little bit later on the line.
Yeah, they can, exactly. They can play this game so fast. PL, this is an early
this is the way to
pickup.
punish it.
Yeah, and it's going to get punished for sure.
I actually, with just 3 picks, I'm almost feeling like it's GG. I don't want to call it, but if the Pango go all in that way, how do you deal with that? Like, I don't even think of what are the heroes that can keep people off of towers nowadays. Like Coddle,
Lena does decently clearing out waves and shoving back, but she's super squishy.
Yeah.
The Pango don't have any gap close right now though, which is something that Signifier can maybe look to
They also
exploit.
have no stuns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no real stuns. Ember Spirit, they banned it out because it's a great hero against Phantom Lancer. So maybe something like a Puck comes to my mind, Queen of Pain, that can dodge a lot of those spells. Yeah, it's definitely going to be like either Lena, Queen of Pain, or Puck, just to spam out the spells. They need a hero that benefits from Crystal Maiden Aura.
CM's not terrible at shoving waves a little bit.
They're extremely squishy. Grimstroke, Crystal Maiden, Phantom Lancer, everyone below 1000 HP.
Why the CM? What's the thought here? Is it just that they want to spam everything with
I mean, Frostbite against Boar is pretty good. Crystal Nova scales nicely. Crystal Maiden actually wave clears decently well.
Yeah.
She's so level dependent.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, you want to put a couple of points in Aura, but all your other spells are also extremely good, so you want to... It's hard to itemize and skill-wise put the points in the skills that Crystal Maiden has, because like you don't want to max out Frostbite in this game. You're playing against the Juggernaut.
Right.
So CM and Axe, that was so popular. I mean, we see more and more Axe coming back into the meta. I'm not sure this hero fits, but we saw 2 games of Axe yesterday. I think both of them lost, actually.
Both of them against Juggernaut, right? Axe is very much a response to Jug to try and cancel spin TP.
I mean, both of those last 2 picks for Signify get that extra armor with their abilities. CM ulti, 20 armor.
Is it 20? Yeah, that's big.
But I do kind of feel like it's... Do you put Grimstroke with the axe so that way you can Inkswell in? Do you put CM with the axe so that way when he's clearing through camp she can jungle? Like, what's the route that they're going to go with that? Or is there a way... Like, do they have to worry about, like, keeping this PL safe up top?
They have a lot of kill potential. If they pair up Crystal Maiden with axe or Grimstroke with axe, a lot of slow, a lot of overtime damage. You can just pop your 3rd spell on axe, he goes in, uses a call. Depends the way they want to play it.
And Crystal Maiden's super slow. I don't often like her in aggressive off lanes or in dual lanes like that. I much prefer her sitting behind the core, whereas Grimstroke can play a little more forward with the axe.
But I think that you need to get CM more farmed in this game to be able to wave clear. And
if she can stack and pull top lane, because the PL is going to be in a 1v1 against the Beastmaster, right? Enigma will be jungling, so CM can kind of stack, pull, manipulate the wave, and not really worry too much. Then Axe Grimstroke will be 2v2 in the off lane against Jug plus Jakiro.
Yeah, I guess you can Frostbite the Hawk if they get vision of it too.
Yeah.
So that way it won't block the camp.
Yep.
I still feel Pango needs some kind of AoE against Phantom Lancer.
Jug is
I don't think Jug is enough.
Just end the game.
You could have a Dragon Knight. I feel like Dragon Knight would be really cool because they have no burst damage whatsoever.
What's the Swifty hero? What is it?
The fact that they have to reveal their mid first here really sucks. Because if it's something that like even Jug could mid against, then you could take something like a Lycan last. Do like Jug mid and then just run at people.
10 seconds remaining.
Another hero Swifty plays is Kunkka.
5 seconds
But I was considering that a couple of picks in. Yeah, it's not good against Jug, but it gives them that team fight against the Enigma Jakiro Beastmaster. Some kind of save, you know, pseudo save with the boat.
Right.
If someone gets jumped on.
There it is. I still don't like it.
No, like we got 2 or 3 picks in, and it came to my mind. I didn't want to say it because I didn't like it either. But it's just again this kind of second pick situation.
I will say that I think this Kunkka is going to end up looking better than what we saw from Moon yesterday, because you're going to have the CM there to keep that mana regen. I was talking to Scriff about it yesterday, and he was saying that there were a couple of those fights where Kunkka just didn't have mana in the engagements, and so he wasn't able to cast Boat.
Yeah, because he went for, what, Shadowblade build. That's not what you usually see on Kunkka. It's also an item that costs mana, and his mana pool is already limited. It feels like the Pango, they already knew what they were going to pick. OD instantly after the Kunkka, so that's a save against Axe once he goes in. It's also AoE against the Phantom Lancer. OD can match it once he gets a BKB. So overall, I feel like Pango's lineup way stronger. They have a lot of push potential. Roche, Vision Game is there. And I'm not sure what to feel about this Crystal Maiden and Axe. They will need to stomp their lanes, because Phantom Lancer is their late game, but not sure if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, the Pango seem to have much more purpose and drive behind their draft. Everything slots into place super nicely. Signify, I don't know, it's just much more finicky, right? You've got to get pickoffs, you've got to get the PL farmed. If any of these kind of puzzle pieces fall out of place, the whole game could come crumbling down.
Well,
especially around Axe's blink timing, right? We saw that previously. It's a struggle.
Totally. House of Cards built up on needing to get your very farmed Axe, and we'll see if they're going to be able to make it happen, as Signify is going to be facing off against the Pango here. A best of 3. Again, this is not elimination. None of these matches today that are going to be played are elimination, but you would love to be able to make it through right now in the top spot for Signify. That's pretty much what they're playing for a chance to be at least, because this is the losers match. Afterwards, decider match is going to be played. The winner of this faces off against Mineski.
One thing that worries me about Signify's lineup is these are not comeback heroes. So if they lose an early game, I think this game might end before 25-minute mark.
Well, Axe says there's no chance of that.
And they still didn't pick up a hero the wave clears. Like Kunkka doesn't safely. He has to go up to the wave to do it, unless he torrent boats a creep wave. Grimstroke needs levels, like you were mentioning. Both Grim and Crystal Maiden pretty level-dependent supports. Like, I think you're right, Lacoste. If the laning stage goes poorly, not only the supports, but the cores will be lacking.
Pango has a lineup that could easily snowball, turn a kill into objective so easily. Also, first Roche could be taken early on, especially with the Helm of the Dominator, all the summons and attack speed that they have from Inner Beast.
Yeah.
The battle begins.
Well, looks like it's going to be a trade-off of runes there. I will mention that Kunkka's sword is one of the coolest cosmetics I've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the sword that he has. It's like very cool looking. Look at that thing.
What's it called?
I have no idea.
Auspicious Compass Edge of the Voyager. That is an obnoxiously long name.
Auspicious is one of the best words also. The Admiral.
I mean, that can't be efficient, having such a brittle, like, compass in the middle of your sword.
Look at this, though. We got a courier coming in, and Mr. Crowley in position to find himself a tasty treat. Look at what... the walk away! Oh, no!
Oh, man.
Just be patient. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, well.
Although that might have also just been Pango recognizing, hey, nobody is showing up in this lane.
Teams have got so good at that now.
Yeah.
Just realizing that there is a hero missing off the map.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like they're going to be sticking 3 up here top, wanting to ensure that they have a good time for themselves. CM taking the Crystal Nova level 1, so she can get some harassment out and also try and deal with that boar a little bit.
Just kill the boars.
You want to try lane against Enigma where he denies your lane, so they need to pull the lane back. They
need to stack and pull immensely here.
Beastmaster will get a lot from this lane. He also has that Ring of Regen shared from Enigma, and Slayer is doing a good job. just trying to harass Axe, even though it doesn't do that much. He also found the center ward, so he can pull. Yeah. And your Juggernaut is going to have a free farm.
Well, and so they also were able to block out that medium camp over on the high ground. Yep. And then we also saw there as well the shared Ring of Regen on the Beastmaster up top. So all of the pieces of the Pango draft sort of working together in concert, but you need to be a little bit careful with Iceberg here. Swifty not going to be able to find any extra damage with the Torrent, but it is just going to be a regen up for Mr. Iceberg and see if he can deal with this lane pressure that comes out from Kunkka.
DD Jakiro.
Yeah, he's just going to leave. Does go back up to top, though.
I don't know how I feel about this. I really thought they'd do the 2-on-2 for Signify. But Slayer, like you're saying, has done such a great job at kind of neutering that bottom lane for the Axe, so he's not getting full efficiency. Bringing another hero bottom wouldn't really accomplish too much.
Yeah, and if they can secure PL farm, like he has to get farmed this game. He can't afford to have a poor PL.
And I think that the big problem is that Signify's two supports, they are, you know, we've talked, they're level dependent, they need a few items under their belt, but they can't really roam. You know, they're not the best ganking heroes. So making a play in towards mid is difficult until you get Kunkka to kind of level 4, level 5 when he's got at least a point in X.
Well, and I kind of thought that we were going to be seeing the CM get more farm priority early on, but it looks like it's going to be Boots early. Well, for both of the heroes, actually. They're both getting some decent farm on themselves.
Negi is definitely the kind of position 6 of this team. Mr. Crowler used to be their offlaner, so he's kind of transitioned from that position 3 into like a position 3.5 quite a lot of the time.
Right clicks. They just don't do anything, and Crowley's just dead.
Oh, he juked him.
Wait a minute. Is he alive?
Nah, Boris is too strong.
Yeah.
One more hit, and there we have it.
Ghost Stick finds his man.
So you're losing already a tri-lane, which you should not. You should not tri-lane in the first place against Enigma, and they did a good job by blocking that camp, so Axe can't pull it. So Axe doesn't know what he needs to do right now. Yeah. Just creep, skip, or try to contest farm, because Jakiro moved to the top lane, and their lane is pretty strong right now. Ghostic will probably fall.
Wizard trying to chase him down. He's getting out of there for the moment. They pop the Mango, and that's enough to get the Crystal Nova off. So Negi able to find that kill.
Axe likes this very much.
So the timing really for Signify here is, again, this Axe off lane, everything pivots around the Axe. The timing on the Vanguard, the Blink Dagger coming up, how quickly he can transition into that just big, beefy brawler that can get up in the opponent's faces.
This is normally that point. I think right around here, Ghost Stick had a Vanguard when he was playing as the Axe. And
he was level 6, right?
Right, so you're that much further behind just because of that camp blocking of the camp that came out. Observer Ward placed down is going to spot the Grimstroke as we get ready for a battle around the runes, but you do have the Eidolons in the area, and that might be enough to force them back. And that looks like, yes, Negi and Crowley not going to be able to move into position to try and steal this away.
As soon as that Stroke of Fate misses on the Eidolons, they give up on the rune.
Yep.
No point in contesting. Axe gets at least one of them, right? Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's mainly going to be picked up by the Pango there. So Nave was able to pick up the other one on the bottom lane.
The thing is, they don't benefit that much from Crystal Maiden's aura. Like, Axe is just farming jungle. Yeah, he needs some of the mana because his level talent got moved to level 15. The same goes for Kunkka, but he's not that hero that actually spams his spells. He's more relying on using the Tidebringer to harass.
Yeah, it's a very strange setup there. I guess maybe it's about the PL or getting some extra farm on the Grimstroke or whoever.
PL's not spamming any spells.
No, he's not.
I mean, you don't even max out Spirit Lands anymore.
Yeah, I think keeping it at level 1 for the Maiden for now is fine, but once it gets to mid-game, that aura does start to kick in much more effectively. If they're going to be playing that 5-man group up around the Axe and making plays, or at least the kind of 4 group up with PL farming somewhere safely. Because Kunkka and Axe are both very active heroes early on.
Right.
So I think it's less about laning stage and more just that mid-game timing.
Stay out on the map over and over again.
Yep.
We'll see how it works as Enigma at about the 6.5 minute mark is looking to finish off the Helm of the Dominator. And in the meantime,
really have it.
Looks like Iceberg's been able to do really well against the Kunkka, not surprisingly. 28-18 versus 25-9.
It's decent for the Kunkka first 3-4 levels, but once OD gets, level 3 in Astral, things become much more difficult.
Yeah.
Start being able to play around Tidebringer much more nicely.
And that's a full Helm of the Dominator finished on Enigma.
Yeah, that's not what you like to see. Well, Crowley up there on the other side, they're going to get the slow down, looking for the torrent, not going to connect. So that rotation, you see that OD's out of the lane, but he's going to walk back and spot the smoke rotation.
That's the issue with the two supports. Even if that smoke hits on the OD, there's a chance the OD can survive because they lack the gap close, they lack the damage.
Yeah.
To actually kill him off. But Blink Dagger's nearly here for Axe.
Yeah,
he's
going
actually
no boots.
Skipped boots, skipped Vanguard for now, going straight into Blink because I think they're feeling it. They're feeling that, kind of need to play faster.
I mean, he needs to get boots before the Blink Dagger.
Nah, there's an urgency around the Blink Dagger. He needs it, Lacoste.
Now Enigma is level 5 with that Helm of the Dominator creep. They can start pressuring the towers. Beastmaster getting closer to level 6. He would be level 6, but Jakiro was taking away some XP from him. Like, it's easy to predict Enigma's first 10 minutes of the game, what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Look at how good Iceberg is. He positions himself so he doesn't get hit by that Tidebringer, just walks slightly to the right.
Yeah. So this is that situation where you'd love to have the Axe up here to make a call play, but he can't actually get to the side shop in time and then buy the blink and TP up top.
Courier?
What?
Use the courier if you don't.
You
can't get to the side shop.
Dude, he's on the other side of the map from him. I thought you were saying the courier is about to get sniped. I was like, what's happening? They're going to find Swifty, though, and looks like Kunkka is going to drop. Cowley might also go down here if they're not careful. Slayer able to heal back up through it, and they can't find the kill until he eventually goes down. So
he gets the kill, but no XP for him. Axe picked up a Blink Dagger, boots of speed, will TP top.
Why is there a jug in my lane?
Oh, looking up top, they find it. Jump in call. Is it going to be enough, though? They find Ghost Stick. And it looks like they're going to be able to escape with this Enigma for the moment.
I feel like that rotation from Naive is super unexpected. Something that we've been wanting him to do. His 2 games on Morphling were very passive, not really getting anything accomplished.
They find another blink here, and the Ice Path to try and turn it back around. I think if Enigma had Black Hole right there, they probably just drop it onto the Axe's head. And well, honestly, Axe isn't that tanky without any other item, but looks like they won't be able to bring him down.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gary. You don't expect Juggernaut, who's having a free lane, to actually rotate, but because other 2 supports are not good at rotating, so good choice from Jug.
Yeah, exceptional move. Just definitely that kind of out of left field play. 10-minute bounty runes coming up soon. Catapults as well, something we have to look out for, especially for the Pango. As that push top lane, it's going to be relentless. They've got Hellbear, they've got Eidolons, the Boar. The catapult wave is coming very soon. Might not even need it, honestly. That tier 1's dropping without catapults.
And really, it's just contention for this bounty runes we're going to see as Iceberg finds the Astral Imprisonment, but Blizzard was able to make it happen, and looks like Crowley is going to drop. TP sounded like it completed, but he was dead before he made it back home. So, yeah. Trade-off there. They still keep their tier 1 tower alive up in the top lane. With Axe sticking around the area, but the Pango have really good vision in this area, and they can just keep that pressure on whenever they see the Axe leave the lane.
How does Culling Blade work with Soulbind?
I assume that it casts on both of them, but you might not
the kill
get
threshold
the cooldown
thing?
Yeah, but I think that probably what happens is that you lose the cooldown if you don't cull both of them. You got what I'm saying? So it would add the cooldown onto it.
That might be it. Like if both of them are not below the kill threshold, you're not gonna refresh it.
Yeah.
But even if one of them isn't, I think. Like
really?
I think if you kill, because you cast the spell on both of them, right? That's what Soulbind is.
But maybe if you kill one, it overrides. It doesn't matter. We might see it.
Yeah.
If anyone knows the answer, tweet at us.
It's Reddit.
They already have.
Dota 2 is an unlearnable game, guys.
Why do you even have to ask those questions, Gary?
Because I'm an inquisitive child. I need to know things. My brain is like, how does that work?
Yeah.
I'm a moron. How does it work?
This is how it goes, man. Oh man, Pango.
It's why we all love Dota, honestly.
It's true.
No one is good. No one knows everything. It's always a learning experience.
I think we all just need to rally around the cry of get good. So they get the Vanguard for Axe. They're trying to set up here on a Ghost Stick, and Swifty with 2 points in X should be able to find the initiation. Can't they just go on him? I guess they're worried about people sitting behind. Oh, no.
They still get him.
Well,
right? They're slow. The boar slow. Oh, dearie me.
There's so many ways that could have worked.
Even with level 3 X, they start with a Torrent.
Yeah.
Sick Ice Path. Nice dodge from Crowley, though.
Well,
Nagy.
Catching on to 2. Quick, Culling Blade him. And Slayer gonna drop first. They are actually just gonna walk away with the Jakiro, and it looks like instead it's gonna be Enigma.
Career. Oh!
Tries to find it, but won't get it. And no chance.
Go, jump, kill.
Yeah, they just leave that kill over for apparently the Grimstroke.
Axe is a team player, while Grimstroke's really not.
Yeah.
Like, he left the kill for Phantom Lancer.
I'm telling you, Crowley's greedy. He used to be the offlaner. Now he's playing support. He wants gold. Level 3 Stroke of Fate as well.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, and the GPM talent. Thank you, Scriff.
It's going to have
up soon.
The Arcane Boots up in a little bit as well. And so far, Signify able to make up for that little bit of a, not rough laning stage, but lead that Pango had at the very least.
Yep. They need to take this bottom tier 1 just to balance things out. Get a little more gold in their pockets.
They find Swifty in some trouble. Didn't get to throw out the boat there and is just going to die for it. Probably would have been dead regardless, but...
Rod of Atos reveal from Iceberg.
And the Pango ready to make this pressure continue up in the top lane where they've brought absolutely everybody.
This is where their draft really excels though, right? Grouping up as 5, taking these objectives. They know that bottom tier 1 is going to fall regardless, so getting any kind of trade out of that is always going to be a bonus for you. At the same time, they get the deep wards in, which is always so important when you're pushing into these areas. Get vision into the jungle so you can actually see where that PL is farming.
PL decided to go for Yasha first item just to increase his farming capability, which means that Diffusal Blade is not going to come online fast. And Tier 1 tower already lost. Smoke from Crystal Maiden and Axe, trying to backstab.
Well, they're just going to Omni Slash now on the Grimstroke. The boat comes out afterwards. It's going to hit onto nothing, unfortunately. On the other side of it, they've also found the CM, who's just in no man's land. And Axe also, it's a feeding frenzy early on here, as Signify were just not together in the least bit. Rooted now, goes for the call, but in the end, it's going to be the Pango that claim the kill.
What happened there, Lacoste? Were you watching the Axe?
Yeah, I was watching Axe and Crystal Maiden. They were trying to backstab Enigma with the good positioning, reveal the smoke, use Malefice on him, and then they just kept dealing damage to him so he could not use his Blink Dagger. The thing is, Axe needs to initiate, but the problem is you have Crystal Maiden and the Grimstroke, who are basically both position 5s and have no ways of engaging a team fight.
Yeah, it needs to be like that perfect combo of Ink Swell as you're about to jump, and then you have some like use in the team fight, but even then it's not.
Even if you get a good jump, OD with the positioning, yeah, I like the Blink Dagger for him. So he needs to be the saving tool, even though he is their damage, but with the good positioning in a team fight, he can just save people. That's their only way of dealing the damage, with Axe jumping in, using a call. And if he saves someone, they have no damage.
Yeah. OD really was just the perfect pick in this game. Now you've also got Jakiro 4 points up in Ice Path to keep the pressure on in these team fights. They are going to find the Hawk there, which was giving the vision for them. But feels like the damage is kind of done as the Pango have claimed the first Aegis and now have that Blink Dagger on OD.
If they can keep this tempo up, Signify are going to struggle. Phantom Lancer still needs another 10-15 minutes to really be a potent force in this game, especially when he's going for that Manta style level 1 first item, level 1. So it doesn't have the Diffusal Blade as the big damage dealer.
I would usually say like
level 1 Manta style. Poggies.
You gotta enter some cheats into the game. We gotta do that one, man. It's nifty stuff. Oh, the Hawk is just bugging out there to death. A DD on Naive. I mean, how do you stop this pressure? They don't have that wave clear. They don't, like, they can just drop boat, I guess, but...
They don't have a team fight.
No.
They're going to lose tier 3 towers if they drop a boat.
Well, they're going to lose tier 3 towers anyways, I think. This was
the issue in the draft, right? They had no wave clear. I was expecting something like a Lina or a Puck. Grimstroke is the only guy that can do anything to stop the summons coming in.
And I love the build on Ghost Stick. Straight into Crimson Guard after Vlad's, which means Phantom Lancer will not deal any damage.
No. So they do TP back the Juggernaut, knowing that they're going to need somebody to deal with it. This pressure that's coming from the PL along the bottom lane. But at this point, Signify looking like they want to try and take a fight, but it's really dangerous, and they're just going to jump on top of the CM, who is completely alone, isolated, and killed off. They could buy back on her and try and take this fight if they want, but they need to get her into the fight immediately.
Three-man call.
Catches on to 3 as well. The boat to follow up, and already they found 1. They don't even need to buy back the CM, or possibly they do. Trying to find themselves this opening onto Slayer. Are they going to get it? Iceberg shows up, though, in force, and is going to be able to find himself a couple of kills here, although he's also kind of alone. They find the hook stomp and get the kill. Oh, and Blizzard just going to need to run away. I thought the CM was going to buy back there.
Oh, he found him.
No way.
Oh,
there's Punker. Iceberg, you okay?
I mean, he still has the Aegis.
He doesn't have Blink after Aegis, though. Oh, he's got Juggernaut to back him up. Naive just charges forward. Easy Omni Slash.
Yeah, they used the info that Naive TP'd back bottom to clear the wave, and then they started playing aggressive.
Oh, well, they do not connect on the X combo there, but Naive gonna get the spin off afterwards. Still in some trouble. Ice Path connecting. He gets the healing ward off. They're walking away, but they will find the kill on Jakiro at the very least. No X follow up, and Iceberg gets the blink away. Got to be careful. Wanted to get up onto the high ground, couldn't find his angle, and now Iceberg is also going to be punished. But up on the high ground is the Enigma still. Does he have Black Hole? He's not going to be able to get into range, though. Axe in position, and that's going to be the turnaround that they needed. So Enigma cannot find the angle for the Black Hole, and the Pango get punished.
Yeah, how much gold did PL get out of that?
There was no need that Juggernaut TP's bottom. They could have just stayed 5 and take a team fight. Also, he uses ulti to kill a Crystal Maiden, and then she just buys back.
500, 500. Tons of experience, though. Look at that.
Yeah, that's always the big determiner of how these games really look. And it's starting to feel like a little bit of an even off after that, at least in terms of the experience. But you still have to wonder about just the effectiveness of each of these heroes.
Yeah, I feel like Pango will just slow down a little bit, farm their items. They need a BKB on OD. Black Hole.
Okay. And now they have themselves the axe. Roar afterwards. Come on, drop the Eclipse. Let's see it.
A kill is a kill. It starts to become very apparent that Signify's draft needs everything to go perfectly in these team fights, right? They need a good 2-3-man Blink Axe call, they need a good Soulbind, and right now they're just getting picked apart one by one.
Crowley's up on the high ground, but with the Soulbind even, I don't think there's going to be anything that can help them. And Iceberg finds his man. Crowley needs to catch out of there, but it's not going to happen.
Road of Atos stops the TP. Thank you, Ice Frog. What a buff.
How did Iceberg know? Did Crowley launch an attack?
Phantom embraced him from the high ground, and he's like, maybe he sticks around. That's literally all that it was. And he did. He stuck around.
And all of a sudden, that mid defense looks like it wasn't worth too much.
I still think that, like, if you, in the middle of that fight, you buy back on the CM as soon as she dies and just TPs to the shrine, maybe her TP wasn't up. That's probably what it was. Because otherwise, it seems like she would have made sense for her to get back into that fight. And then maybe you win the fight in dominant fashion instead of just barely.
Yeah, with the tier 3 mid falling now, Shrine Time cuts out a large portion of the map for Signify to play into. And it's all timing around that second Roshan now for the Pango. If they can take that northern shrine from the Dire side, there isn't really a platform for Signify to play off to move towards the pit.
And also, it's just this next round of items that's coming up is where really I think the Pango haven't even hit their peak yet as far as effectiveness of heroes.
BKB soon to come on OD. Enigma just finished the max, so they will become extremely tanky. Next Roche may respawn in 2 minutes. I think they're just gonna take it slow. They took both shrines. They're gonna control the map with the Hawk.
And regen rune to boot afterwards. Yeah, it doesn't feel like these heroes are anywhere close to coming online. Like, even if right now the PL had Diffusal Blade, I don't think that would be enough to let them fight the Pangos still.
He still needs time.
Yeah.
Even seeing a Solar Crest being queued up by the Beastmaster.
Why not? Let's do it. So yeah, they can continue to control the map here. Take out both of those shrines, obviously. Axe is going to push out this bottom wave.
It's the worst part of the game when you're playing Radiant, is this bottom lane is always pushed in, right?
If it's Axe, look up at top lane, they're just going to jump in on him. Like, they know that Axe isn't there, so shouldn't that be PL pushing that? Because they don't have to worry, they can just jump in.
They just popped Sanities and 10-second BKB to kill the Crystal Maiden. But they got the Raxes out of it, so it's all cool.
Oh, and the board just goes over there to cancel the Axe's blink.
Yeah, PL has to farm top because it's safer. With the Shrine down bottom, it's so much easier for the Radiant to TP, come in behind the PL, attacking from the front from a tier 3. So the Axe is like maybe a giveaway kill. The Phantom Lancer cannot afford to die. Like, in no circumstances is PL allowed to die.
I guess that's true. Okay. I'm just thinking that, like, you have to... Axe is the only thing that stops Pango from going high ground.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. But nonetheless...
It's just one of those situations where, you know, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel and they've got to do what they've got to do.
Right.
It doesn't look great, but they don't feel they've got a chance taking the full-on fight. Giving one lane of barracks isn't atrocious, and they've got to wait for this next Roshan anyway.
And Axe is not going to do too much since Jakiro has Yule Scepter. He's extremely farmed, so he needs that BKB still
Is that the longest
far away
spawn
from
yet?
it. Yep.
the longest
possible spawn of Roche.
Damn.
Well, Axe is going to maybe be able to get into a BKB because of it. Although, it looks like the Pango are not going to give them the opportunity as they're just up on high ground right now. And, well, he really doesn't have to worry that much.
Man.
Although they do take down the Healing Ward. That was pretty
Healing Ward
nifty.
feels so bad right now because of the movement speed. Oof. They nerfed it twice in a row.
Oh.
Sick Ice Path.
What is the movement speed of it now? Like 330 or something?
It's garbage.
350?
350, okay. What was it before? Like
Ability guide.
500?
Don't underestimate Healing Wards. Incredible ability that can make your team fight incredibly safe. Used a lot of Incredibles in that description, didn't they? All right, I'm not going to flame guide makers anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to message my boy Tortellini.
Tortellini. Mr. Michael Cohen. What a guy. Well, they have Diffusal Blade done on the PL.
That's good.
Hey, man, they're in position to maybe get these bounty runes. It's all coming up Signify now. Call me crazy.
This is not going to end well.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, like, even before the draft started, before the game started, you know, we talked about how a lot of their drafts are predicated around that one combo, that one play, something that wins them a team fight, sets them up for a good game. And they've not had that team fight yet. And it is starting to feel too little, too late. They've slipped behind pretty hard. And I just don't see a world in which they get a chain of, you know, 2, 3, 4 team fights where everything goes absolutely perfectly. They outplay the BKBs, the Soulbind is sick, and they get Kunkka in with a good Torrent Boat combo because the Pango are doing, you know, reasonably well at keeping that split of their heroes when they're taking these objectives.
What are Creeps doing? They're just scouting out Axe. What?
Yeah, they pulled it over to the side, but the BKB comes out from Iceberg. They miss the call. They miss everything. The boat is going to connect, and it's only to Jakiro, though, as the Omni Slash comes. They also find the black hole, and that is going to be about all she wrote.
So what's the opposite of perfect? Because that fight was it for Signify.
Well, for Iceberg, it was perfect. He gets the ultra kill, and he wants a little more. Atos? Oh.
Give him the rampage. Are they going tier 4s? Just end?
They're thinking about it.
There's no Kunkka for 35 seconds.
I mean, they buy back on the PL now. Signify do not want to give this up if they can avoid it.
Oh my God. Ogre, Vampire Mage with Mjolnir.
Vampire Mage.
Because it was the longest respawn time possible, they're going to be able to walk back into Roche as it respawns.
Now.
Oh, hey.
Man, the spawn delay on Roshan creeps really isn't good, is it?
Nah.
But they've got it. This is Signify's last chance now. Kunkka has the TP. Oh,
this
shrine.
could be a big one, though. This could be a really big one.
Kunkka.
Moving into position. No, they break the Blink Dagger, though. Now they can't walk in. Roche is getting really, really low. They need to wrap around all the way, and they aren't going to be able to find the call, and that gives Pango the opportunity to just turn around, find Blizzard, get the kill, and it all fell apart as the Yule Scepter lift up comes from Jakiro. Axe is going to come back down to earth and then eventually be brought down even further as Iceberg is going to send him into the grave.
That's why shrines are important, guys. If there was a shrine there for the Dire, Kunkka TPs to it, they get into that Roche pit, they have a fight, they've got Boat and Torrent, but there's no shrine, no TP. It is now GG.
Yeah, what a performance from Iceberg. I loved his item build, Road of Atos, Blink Dagger, a lot of mobility, a lot of catch. He just goes in, and once he gets the BKB, there's no way they can fight him. This Phantom Lancer, Diffusal Blade came in too late. I'm not sure why he decided to go for a Manta style as the first item.
Yasha I like, Manta not so much.
It's too much gold invested, so you're kind of lacking the damage. Also, we can go back to the draft issues, which we pointed out, no real wave clear. Also, Crystal Maiden and Grimstroke feeling like a same hero. You can't engage into a fight. It's really hard to set it up. They still had an axe, which had a really great timing on a Blink Dagger, but it was still not enough.
So like I was saying, Signify are going to 2-1 the Pango in this series.
Easy.
Call me crazy, but
call me crazy.
So I will say that I think Iceberg also was on one of his most signature heroes. Yeah. Like when I think of Iceberg, OD, that was what he wrote his performance on. The other one was Tiny, but that was so long ago. Windranger's the other guy.
Windranger's like top for me, and then like OD.
Well, it's going to be comfort heroes for them, and then of course they were able to make it work with. I mean, they didn't even need the Enigma. In the end, the Enigma was like that cherry on top, the exclamation point. But
by the way, we've got Black Hole.
Right? We have everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that that's going to do it for us for game number 1. We'll be hopping into game number 2 in just a second. So stay tuned. More from ESL and Mumbai right after this.
Previously on ESL 1 Birmingham.
What a dream way to begin the day.
And now we continue. Get ready for the Birmingham Brawl.
It's time! There is no place like home. Universe goes down. Look at the swing. Asha coming in with the combo. GG is is called.
ESL 1 Birmingham 2019.
Think he can't shine through the dark? Stream a Roshan steal in high resolution? And record a play for the history books? Watch this. Think he can't make a victory go viral? Watch this. Think a support can't be in the spotlight? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, a legend can rewrite his own legacy. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's domination in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
You're not weak. Your mind is always racing. It never rests. So let the earth quake as you break through.
ESL 1 is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Asus Republic of Gamers, and Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel.
Oh, hello and welcome back, all you wonderful people out there in Dota 2 world. We're here for ESL 1 Mumbai, which you can see in front of you, the lovely streets of that faraway place in India. Far away from us, far away probably from you as well. But if it's not far away from you, you should definitely be coming out to that arena a little bit later on this week, where all of the action is going to be taking place. Lyrical, Lacoste, Gareth, the wonderful trio, the Three Musketeers, peanut butter, bread, and jelly.
We need Dota 2 world. Yeah. Legoland, Disneyland, Disney World. Why isn't there a Dota 2 world?
I mean, it's basically just wherever TI is, right? That turns into Dota 2 world.
I guess.
It's pretty cool. It's like in a little amusement park.
When I'm at home, that's my Dota 2 world.
Oh.
Like my
blackout
own room.
curtains, turn the lights off.
Well, this is the real Dota 2 world. Whatever the world is that Dota 2 is played on, that's where we're looking at right now. And it's the Pango versus Signify game number 2. And of course, the Pango one game away from moving on to play against Mineski in the next round of these GSL group stages. And they're going to go back for the Enigma yet again, feeling comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think important for Signify this time around is that their second pick. So they'll have that last pick. Grimstroke banned, Winter Wyvern gone, Nyx gone. Some pretty heavily targeted bans from Pango.
They still decide to go for the Doom in spite of not having the Grimstroke.
It's fine. I think the only playable combo for Grimstroke is Grimstroke and Doom. Like I find the hero really weak, and Doom can be the only hero, in my opinion, who can actually buff the Grimstroke. Now they have a Rubik and Doom against Enigma. Enigma, if it's going to be a position for Enigma, I don't find Rubik that strong of a counter anymore, because Enigma just tanks up and he pushes the towers. You don't really rely on blinking in and using that black hole.
I mean, we only saw 2 black holes in the last game.
Yeah.
One was on the solo axe, and the last one was in a fight where the game was already over.
It's much more so the Fade bot against Eidolons early, right? You're able to kind of clear them and pick them off reasonably well. And Doom, potentially 2 ways to cancel Black Hole. Doom plus Troll and Snare.
Yeah, nifty. Doesn't break through BKB anymore, but it still is a good one before that BKB comes out. But then also, of course, you've got the Doom itself. Hey, why not? Let's go.
Oh, you can take Mud Columns as well, can't you?
Yeah.
You've got a couple of ways.
And then if you die, you've got so many ways to black hole, because you create the little Doomlings that pop out as well. It's great.
Infinite cancels. Brewmaster Enigma.
I'm not sure why they picked up Brewmaster this early, because he's not that good against neither Rubik nor Doom. And you also reveal your off lane.
Could be
an interesting one.
Position 5 Brew still.
I hope not. I feel like this hero is really not. Same goes for Beastmaster. Like, you need to play it as your off lane.
That's not a Slayer hero, Brewmaster, I don't think.
No.
It's just one of those chaos creators. Against Doom, there's that kind of weird back and forth where, depending on who gets the jump, they get the advantage. Because Brew can just cyclone a Doom and you remove his entire potency from the fight.
Depends who jumps on who first. Yeah.
I mean, if Doom jumps on Brew, that's pretty rough. Although I guess you sometimes don't even die to the Doom regardless. They need something else to keep everybody in place, I think, on Signify here.
You need to pick heroes that have some kind of a catch, good chase potential once you drop that Doom.
The thing with Doom is, if you don't cast your ulti like at the start of the fight, like casting Doom mid-fight or at the end of the fight often feels, you know, kind of wasted or awkward.
Right. I mean, it's hero-specific too. Like against a Terrorblade or something, it's pretty cool. But against most other ones, I don't know. It's kind of funky. Funky.
Where do we go? What do we do?
They're thinking about it too. They're like, oh my God. They banned the Shadow Shaman and the Jug. Life is over.
Radiant team pick.
Disruptor.
Taking a leaf out of Keen Gaming's book. Another hero that's pretty damn good against the Brewmaster. Lots of catch, lots of chase.
Yeah.
And that Static Storm exceptionally powerful to stop the Primal Split.
It's like a good team fight hero. It also, before BKB, a good way to break Black Hole of Enigma. I do kind of wonder about the laning stage of Signify now.
Radiant team
and Bane in particular makes me a little bit worried about it. Ember into Bane Enigma.
And Brew. Dispel Flame Guard with Primal Split Storm Panda. Still, it's a maneuverable hero. There's no real consistent guaranteed stun, right? You can Sleight of Fist to try and not dodge, but I guess you dodge the animation or the cast time of things like Fiend's Grip of Nightmare.
They will need to pick some kind of a silence to deal with this Ember Spirit.
I feel like Ember Spirit nowadays, I like him in a couple of different scenarios. One is if there's a steroid like Ion Shell or Empower. And then the only other way is if you like have some good initiator that Ember can be like that first layer of initiation. And that's kind of what Doom is. So he like, you know, Remnant, Sleight Fist, gets some chains on people, and then runs away. But I don't really know if any of these heroes care that much about like an Ember Spirit chainsing them. Like Brewmaster just pops ulti, Enigma probably will have somebody behind him already. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about this Ember right now, at least in the mid game.
And you have no idea what the mid matchup's going to be. And Pango have a couple of picks to respond to it as well. And if you want them to go for something like a like, do they need a silence against the Ember? Like, do they think about a DP potentially just to amp up that push power? I don't even know how DP lanes against Ember. Probably not amazing. What's the damage on Crypt Swarm? Levels 1, 2, 3.
It's like 90.
It's like 90. Does it scale like 50 per level?
Probably
or?
180 or something.
75, 150, 225, 300.
Oh my
so
god.
It's not enough.
That's
I think
terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Against Ember Spirit, you don't remove it. It's 80 level 1. Yeah, so you can't remove it.
I guess with Spirit Siphon, you're going to be able to, though, right?
Yeah.
This is really cool.
So this is, I guess, a response. So nothing's... there's not showing anything with the Lone Druid. He can still be played at the mid and at the side lane. Most likely it's going to be mid.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think that this is really strong. Spirit Link, I think, is like such an undervalued spell. It's like probably the biggest thing that got changed about him, and probably the biggest buff that he's gotten in a while that most people just don't get. You know, like the shared lifesteal and extra attack speed. It's just insane.
You keep the bear out on the map for so much longer.
10 seconds remaining.
They do ban the DP in the end. Still a little bit afraid of that
5 seconds
pushing
remaining.
strength from the Exorcism. Pango still have a reasonably nice timing here. You know, Brewmaster, Enigma, both getting the auras, the utility stacking up. Teamfight's decent with Enigma, Brew, Bane. Lone Druid doesn't necessarily have to show on the map for the first like 15, 20 minutes. So if he's going that Radiance build, he's got a fair number of heroes that can create space for him.
Radiant team pick.
Well, they do decide to ban out that Death Prophet. They're also going to take the Kunk out of the pool, anticipating maybe a side lane. Oh, that's why.
Oh,
that's really smart.
That's an unplayable lane for Ember.
Oh.
Absolutely unplayable lane.
So yeah, they ban out the Kunk because they're like, okay, they can't send Ember mid now. But I don't even know if Kunk is even better.
Do they have to pick an OD or something now, Signify? Put Ember safe lane?
Just get Sniper here. I'm not even kidding.
Blink Brew, Blink Ursa. It's rough, man. Man, they get last pick in this draft, and it still feels like they're behind the Pango.
Gabe is typing something. What are you looking at?
Hero list?
I'm just looking at if they've played this a lot recently.
So Signify have no tower damage. They've got single target from Doom, from Rubik. They've got some good abilities to steal. Some AoE team fight from like Disruptor, a little bit from Ember Spirit. But they've got no one that actually goes and hits buildings. And And I'm pretty sure Ember's a Swifty hero, not a Blizzard hero. They can't fall back on something late game like Spectre, just going to get run over quickly early game.
Maybe something like a Phantom Assassin. If she's not banned out, she's not.
I think just try and own the lanes. Go Bat Rider.
Can you go Necro here? It's not atrocious. Still very single target heavy. But if you go like a Greaves build, Rod of Atos Greaves build on Necro, it's not bad. Again, they're in a situation where it's like make the best of a bad situation. The draft just keeps slipping away from Signify. Again, Pango have this very single mind, this hive mind. They know what they want to do. All 5 heroes have a plan.
What happened with Pango Lear as a hero? We did not see it yesterday nor today.
Dude, Lucky Shot got absolutely destroyed as an ability.
I mean, it was OP to start with.
Yeah, it was.
There's no happy medium with that. So they are going to go for the OD that you're talking about. I mean, it's not great.
I think it was like OD or Necro or like a random hero that they have to come out with.
Right.
Venomancer was one that I maybe considered as well, but that's usually a no chance offlane hero that they pick up. So it wasn't really an option here.
Way better draft for Signify in game 2. A lot more synergy. They have saving potential, good catch. I think they're not gonna lose the lanes that hard. I'm a bit afraid for Ember Spirit safe lane. Every single time I see that hero, it feels like he's always playing from behind. Like he's never having a good time.
And the fact that Naive's on the Ursa, the Pango can just swap their lanes around. They can just have Ursa chase the Ember Spirit no matter what lane he's in, right? It doesn't have to be the mid, doesn't have to be any specific lane in particular.
The Pango, they're not afraid of just having a static lane, Lone Druid, mid, Ursa on the safe lane, because Ursa does well against the Doom as well, so they don't really care if it's against Ursa or Ember Spirit.
It really
against Doom or Ember Spirit.
It's down to Signify to kind of scout the lanes and get what they want.
The other thing is, like, at a certain point, Pango can just walk into the pit. Like, they don't even need to smoke Ursa in. With Brewmaster ulti, with Black Hole, there's no way that Signify are going to be able to contest it. Like, I think that this actually is just going to be such a snowball game unless Signify are able to come out pretty far ahead in the laning stage.
That's the thing, it's one way or the other, right? If Signify do get a good laning stage, a good start in 2 out of their 3 lanes, if the Ember Spirit and Doom, I think, specifically get a good start first 6-7 minutes,
right?
They have an exceptionally good draft at just finding pickoffs, kill after kill, and chaining these kind of ganks and rotations very nicely. But again, if things fall apart early, they fall apart super hard.
Well, game number 2, it all comes down to this for Signify in their group stage matches. If they're able to win, then they can push it to a game number 3, and Pango looking to finish it off. And then they'll have a date with Mineski a little bit later on today if they're able to win.
Look at the build on Slayer. 4 tangos, a healing salve. He just wants to trade hits with them. 3 branches.
It's the life of Bane.
It's a tough life.
Trade hits until you die. Respawn and trade hits some more. And the great thing about having this Lone Druid, you've got the Spirit Bear to scout things out. Not just now, but as you're taking fights. You know, if you're looking for that Primal Split initiation or the Enigma to push forward, Lone Druid can scout out with the Spirit Bear initially. Find a target, get that vision.
So I was looking through just real quickly because you'd mentioned the win rates, and it's actually kind of interesting that Swifty on both OD.
Oh dear.
Oh God, no! First
what
blood.
a body block from Iceberg.
That was really good. That is problematic. Now the body
Iceberg,
blocks to steal it away. God, oh man.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
They didn't deserve this.
The Bear Bash brothers. Okay, so Bounty Runes, they traded off. But between OD and Ember Spirit, Swifty actually has like a 30% win rate on both of those heroes. But on the Switch side of that, you have your lovely little Ember Spirit player. He's a 70% win rate over the whole course of his lifetime. So Blizzard, he's gonna bring up the team.
So Swifty has 30% on OD.
Yeah, somewhere around that neighborhood in professional matches.
how many games? Like 10?
Oh no, 42%. He's 30 on Ember Spirit.
Okay.
But yeah, only 14 games.
Okay. Sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
No chance alone down bottom. What's Rubik doing? He's just going to drag the wave back? Yeah, drag the wave back. Try and
they can't really contest. Doom adjusted his item build, Wind Lace, Stout Shield, so he's going to have some extra movement speed against the Ursa, but this lane will be unbearable for him.
See what you did there. Is mid lane unbearable for the OD as well?
Please, can we just not? Jeez. Man, I think it's a little bit better for the OD than the Doom. Crowley's getting a double creep wave stack going on over here. He's just taking on a little merry roundabout. So this is going to be at least something nice for them, although just need to be a little bit careful. Slayer's still going to chase him down. Very quick on this Bane right now. Has his boots.
Man. At least Rubik has a Wind Lace.
Yeah.
LD was often considered that kind of second counter to OD historically, right? There was Razor, then there was LD.
Oh my God. No armor. No chance.
Because he can't get close.
One more hit there would have done it, right, with a brain stat?
I think so. Like, Slayer's just zoned them both out completely of the area. And,
tier 2s. Tier 2s, no.
It's tier 3s on the other side. Look at Slayer. Like, they don't care about this at all. Oh, they do break the TP, though.
Slayer's just going around, you know, finger guns.
I mean, he can still maybe kill off this Doom if Doom's not careful.
Deny. Oh, right, game's over. It's done.
Dude, this Bane, what a player.
So small, the world will not notice.
Damn. It's 54 and 5, Laundry 8 and 6 mid. Enigma finally being contested here by Nagy.
Yeah.
Puts a bit of pressure in on him. And one of the struggles that Enigma does have in this position 4 is experience. Because you get a lot of gold from these jungle camps. You get that pretty speedy Helm of the Dominator, like Lacoste was saying earlier. 6.5, 7 minutes is where you kind of want to aim towards. But you often come out of the jungle level 4, maybe even level 3 at 7 minutes.
He was level 5 in the previous one, but
he had a free jungle, right?
Exactly, but now he's harassing him a lot, and this cripples Enigma so much.
Because it's all about resetting the camps, you know, clearing and then allowing them to respawn, maybe stacking the medium one once or so. And if you don't get the chance to do that, your efficiency really does drastically drop.
Yeah, he's going to at least head off to the other side of the map now, so he'll have a bit of a freer time. It's not as quick as that triangle, but should still be okay.
It means that Brewmaster's opened up now, though. There's no threat or fear of that Enigma coming in with, you know, mass Eidolons.
Right.
So Blizzard can play a little more aggressively.
So far, so good for the Pango. If you look across all of the lanes, it looked like they were winning each of them. Now, Brewmaster having a bit of a worse time against this Ember Spirit, but that's just still with the wave pushing into him.
This feels like a completely different Pango to what we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
They're playing crisp, clean Dota. They've all got, you know, their confident hats on. And they seem to be enjoying themselves. I think, honestly, an underrated part of professional Dota is when people are happy and, you know, enjoying the game, having a good time on signature heroes. And Lacoste, how does it feel?
That doesn't happen too often.
All right, Lone Druid just got every last hit except for one, including denies there from that whole wave.
Ouch.
That hurts, because OD is a hero that likes to dominate the lanes, and
can't really farm jungle.
No.
Not until he's like level 8 or 9 when he goes and farms Ancients.
Bane is level 2 in Viz, and they were just waiting for level 5 on Lone Druid. Maybe they score a lucky route.
Mid lane? No? Yeah, they're just going to back out with the Bane. A little bit too scary.
Pseudo deny. Don't let your opponent get the last hit.
That's the way to do it.
Bounty rune's coming up, though. This time, Slayer caught out in the open.
Oh my God,
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
That's not allowed.
Iceberg, mid lane. One more hit from Bear.
Dude, he's just diving. He doesn't care at all. One more punch, afterwards miss uphill.
He has no boots.
Break the salve. Break his spirit. He's just going to run away. Okay, so where are we at right now? A 2,000 gold lead And it was only with 1 kill. It's sort of swinging back and forth between that 2,000, 1,000 mark, but
basically, just, I mean, it's 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, Blizzy. Oh, Blizzy. Got to be careful there. But they do bring in the Disruptor and weren't able to break through his Flame Guard. And the extra rotation coming from the Rubik.
Ghostic so close to 6. So close.
I mean, he's just walking away from him here, though.
He might get a triple kill.
Actually might.
If he gets a kill, hits 6, and then Primal splits, then yeah, he will actually get a triple kill.
He has stick charges still.
Sadly, foreign creep wave is far away from him.
And he just pops the salve and runs away.
Blizzard has one
more CS.
That's all that he needs. And Blizzard is still chasing here. Oh, God, he has another round of this here.
Does he have support? Who's blue? Bane's coming in from the right-hand side. Oh, yeah, there's no chance anymore.
That was so much space created.
3 heroes from Signify
chasing him. If he was closer to that creep wave, it would actually be a triple kill.
And instead, they're still going to find that kill onto Rubik. It just feels like the Pango are kind of outplaying them with their movement just in the laning stage alone.
Bottom lane, Doom can't be in the lane against Ursa. Well, maybe now he can. He has Windlace, Boots of Speed, and Blades of Attack, so phase boots on him, soon to be finished, but
level 3
extremely
Scorched
hard
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the laning stage advantages, you know, they come from the draft. We've talked about the 2 supports from Signify. The fact they're picking these, you know, almost 2 position 5s, no real initiator, no real gap close. You know, there's no Clock or Tusk or Earth Spirit, any of these heroes that can make action happen. Signify forced to kind of play statically, and they're being read very easily, so Ghostic and Slayer can just dive between towers and find pickoffs. This time around, Swifty will make the rotation into top, find a grab. It's a long time coming, and it is only a Bane, but it's a...
I mean, the bigger thing is they're losing the tier 1 tower while this is happening, and Brew's just going to pop the split now and chase down this Rubik, throws out the boulder, they take the tower. Now afterwards going to take the kill as the second boulder connects, the Windwalk, and the punches. And Ghostic finds himself as man.
An Iceberg shoved in mid as well, diving behind tier 1, so his next creep wave will meet at that tower.
Sends the Baron, looking for a root.
Oh. I expect the Pango just to come in towards mid lane, right? Where's the Enigma?
Swifty's just walking around getting mauled by this bear.
It's why OD can't lane against Lone Druid. Because you don't want to waste Astral on the bear. You want to be putting it on the hero to, you know, chip down, do damage, look for that kill threat.
Oh,
you can't
Slayer.
Get close.
Look at this guy.
Slayer with the DD.
Oh, he's just harassing. OD makes the rotation over. Slayer still taking a lot of damage here.
Whack him.
Oh, but Naive moves into position. They drop the ulti. That was the best thing.
I mean, it's a kill.
Yeah,
he has a lot of movement speed with Tranquil Boots and the Windlace build.
A kill is a kill is a kill.
He's like, you're not getting out of this
Good
one.
glimpse.
He has Black Hole. Turn, thinking about it. Oh,
can't waste it here.
Danger, danger. Ghostic doesn't have ulti either. He turns on to Crowley, though, and Ghostic is very, very farmed.
Ghostic doesn't care.
Oh, that Shockwave is not going to connect.
OD mid might be in trouble. There is a wraparound from the Doom coming in behind the Lone Druid and the Bane. Iceberg, a nice Savage Roar.
Yeah, just completely owned on. And they find the root, but this is still a rather tanky Doom. As
Doom the Bear.
Doom the Spirit Bear, yeah.
Honestly, worth it, I think.
No.
If they don't, 300 gold for a Doom, dude.
They would deny him.
You guys need to look real quickly at the level situation right now.
It's rough. It's real rough. This is what happens when 3 lanes get lost. Your support's super lacking. Neither of them can farm jungle. You're not finding rotations or ganks. You're losing out in maneuvers like this where the Pango are ready and waiting, just sitting with a bait.
A 4,000 gold lead at 9.5 minutes.
And the Pango going to get 3 out of 4 bounty runes here, it looks like.
Seems probable.
Just look at the Pango's vision, right? Super deep. They know exactly every trajectory that Signify want to come from. Every shrine, every jungle camp. They know what's going on every step of the way. So Enigma can play really forward. Brewmaster can play forward. Lone Druid can just sit mid. I'm still interested to kind of figure out why Lone Druid hasn't gone for that tier 1 tower. They've not brought anyone to actually collapse in onto the objective.
I think Enigma was just farming the jungle to get himself to level 6 for more kill potential. Not just kill potential, but the threat of a black hole. Blizzard.
Well, they are going to drop the Doom now onto the Ursa, but he's just running away. The Glimpse to pull him back in. This does not seem like it's going to be a kill for the moment, but could possibly make it happen. They show up with the Brewmaster. And the wraparound coming. They don't find Naive. He's still living through this. Ghost Stick has now shown up, and Blizzard wanting to find a kill onto Slayer here, who doesn't have that much mana. So it looks like they will find that kill on the Bane, but in the meantime, no chance. They're going to get ran down by this lone Druid as well. Tries to deny himself to the smallest Centaur in the world, and they find the kill on a Negi as well. So 2 for 1, and maybe more? Is there a chance?
Blizzard didn't pop his wand in time to get the chains onto Ursa. That could have been a kill, and if they get that kill, they group up again together and they're not split up anymore. They can convert into potentially more.
There was a cute little play from Doom. He was kind of forced to use the Devour on a Centaur Conqueror because they would get stomped. 3 heroes were chasing Ursa, so he had to use it. Pretty smart.
5k lead now, 11 minutes in. And Vampire has a catapult. Tier 1 mid's already gone. And this map opens up really nicely for the Pango. And these wards that they've pre-placed, they can start playing into them. They're all starting to expire, so they're going to have to play into them and reward.
I mean, this Ember Spirit is just so poor right now. Trying to build towards drums. Like, I don't know. The items for the Pango aren't even really there to let them take the fights that you want, but they're already winning those fights.
Scan connects. They have Vlad's on Brewmaster, 4 points in Fury swipes. I'm not sure if they can even respond. That Disruptor is only level 4.
Well, and Slayer shows up to this one. They're taking down Roche. They are going to lose the Bane here most likely, but they move into the pit and he just gets picked up by Naive. Turns now onto the Doom, who's going to think about throwing out something. I don't think he can take this fight right now.
Blizzard has no mana.
They pull him back. Glimpse as well.
You can't take this fight.
Naive
are so strong.
I mean, it's 5 heroes surrounding the Ursa. They just can't do anything. He just walks away from them.
And the fact that Enigma now respawns TP's mid, if Signify stick around, they're all dead. They've got to split. TP bottom, move up towards top, leave whoever is left behind.
Poor old Crowley. They find the root, and that means he is no longer going to be in this world. And the chuckles coming from the lone Druid.
Sensible chuckles.
Well, he gets on the other side of the kinetic field, but doesn't break through. And Tier 2 tower now ready to be assaulted. A 7,000 gold lead. It's only 3 kills difference, but this is just the big thing is, like you talk about, the vision, the map movement, the winning the lanes, everything. All go in Pango.
Yeah, they set up Observer wards really nicely on both of the shrines. They took the Tier 1 towers pretty early, and now they know where Signify is going to play.
Do they even need to stop here?
No. And it's this fact again that Lone Druid hasn't really had to do anything. The 4 heroes from the Pango have done all the heavy lifting. Lone Druid is just like, sick, I've got Midas, I'm like a third of my way towards my Radiance. Signify don't have a chance, and how do they defend this, honestly?
I don't think they do. Vampire's just sitting back. Blizzard looking for an opening on him, but they can't just go for the black hole if they need it. They spot out the hero, looking to find him. They are going to be able to steal it away if they're not careful. Fire backs away, catches Negi dead. The lift up comes onto the Doom as well. No chance trying to run away. They do have level 6 on Crowley, but Enigma hasn't used the black hole. They take down the Tier 3 tower, and with Ghost Stick's ultimate wearing out, doesn't look like they have anything, although they get the Bruce Smith stolen now by Rubik. This could be an opportunity to turn it back around, but Vampire was in a position, summons some Eidolons, walks forward, still has that black hole available. Negi has respawned. Still has it, and
Negi, no.
Black hole to turn it now as they land, gonna connect onto all of them, and just gonna try and walk away from this. Has the Pango gone too far, or are they gonna keep going even further? The fear connects, they find themselves, this Ember Spirit is just trying to run away. Sanity is eclipsed, is not enough to find the kills. Naive will eventually lose the Aegis.
This lack of Stack Storm is hurting Signify so badly. If they have Stack Storm there, this could be a good fight, but the Pango know he's level 5, so they just keep running forward. Oh, Iceberg's a big pick. If they can kill him.
They're looking for it, and it looks like they will. The rest of the Pango give up on that.
Okay.
Pop that Midas before you die. Nicely done by Iceberg. Yeah, as you mentioned, Gary, Disruptor only level 5, not even close to level 5 in that fight, but they got a kill, and that got him to level 5. So
he's got 3 observer wards. Needs to get them placed down.
And the Ember Spirit goes in. Brewmaster uses Split, dispels his Flame Guard immediately, and Ember Spirit can't do anything.
So they lose tier 3. Similar story to the previous game.
Oh my goodness.
Shrine's now susceptible, but a good move into the Radiant jungle will catch them a kill on the Enigma. The trouble is, all these Radiant tier 1 standing means that Signify's area of movement really has been restricted pretty heavily.
Well, and the other thing is their lanes were all pushed in, so they don't even get any objectives off of the team fight win that they had. I mean, call it a win if you want. They still lost the tier 3 tower and a lot of damage onto their racks. So they are going to try and pressure down here in the bottom lane. We'll see what Pango's reaction is to this. Stolen Fiend's Grip is kind of nifty.
Yeah, Pango needs that Radiance on the Bear. They don't have to rush anything. Already took the tier 3 tower. Bear will be up in 30 seconds. That's the first Bear.
So 16 minutes and tier 3 down. This is how these Lone Druid games can sometimes look.
Especially with Vlad's Brew, Enigma with the Helm of the Dominator. And picking up catapults and hellbears. And now he's got little skeletons running around thanks to the Dark Troll.
OD has a Tranquil Boots, but doesn't decide to go for attack speed. You need to get somehow attack speed on OD. That's why you either go for Power Treads, or if you go for Tranquil builds, you need to pick the left talent.
It's one of those panic moments where you feel like 250 HP, maybe that keeps me alive in the next fight.
But you don't do anything.
You don't do any damage.
Well, they found the Doom now. And they are going to break the Fiend's Grip there, but afterwards they do have the Split. Going to be able to run through it, obviously, with that Earth Panda, but the Lift Up is going to be there, and now the Dispel, the Chase.
15 Wand and Scorched Earth doesn't use... Feels like he's dead regardless.
Yeah.
One thing going for Signify is their respawn times are very low.
That's always like...
When Pango were pushing high ground, Disruptor died, and he had a 12-second respawn time. Let me tell you now, that was very quick.
He also did nothing when he came back into the fight.
he got a Thunderstrike out game.
That's right, that's fair enough.
Don't you be rude.
That's fair enough.
Again, it comes down to like perfect execution from Signify. They leave themselves in these positions where they need to absolutely, beautifully execute these initiations, the pickoffs.
Oh, they're looking. They want it so badly. A glimpse. Are they going to get vision? No, it doesn't look like it. Force Staff, they found Iceberg.
Savage Roar is ready.
Looking for that chance. Savage Roar on to 3. Iceberg is going to be isolated here by Swifty, but the Bear is going to run at that OD, and now the rest of the team, they've left him for dead. Iceberg.
He got his relic, though, so...
Just
going to lose like 100 gold or so. Yeah, barely lost any gold.
Look at Swifty. He's the team motivator. Well played.
Good job, team.
Yeah.
These pickoffs, they start to matter. You rack them up one by one by one. You delay the Pango coming in. You've got level 7 on Negi now, so you've got Static Storm at long last. That Teamfight Ultimate is available. And we still have a Rubik in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't ever, ever forget, especially with an Aether Lens ready to go, how potent a Black Hole Steel or a Primal Split or even just a Fiend's Grip can be in these games.
I was a little surprised to see him be able to steal the Primal Split. You've got the ability to pop that E right afterwards on the Drunken Brawler, but it might have been on cooldown still. I think that he didn't have it maxed out at the earlier point when they went up high ground. So
I mean, after the split, all your cooldowns reset. So.
Oh, well, nifty. How did I get it stolen from me then when I was playing? What? I don't remember this.
Get good.
I guess, apparently.
BKB Ursa. Okay, so Static Storm now worthless against one of the Bears. Signify really grouping up to defend what little remains of their kind of base, their towers, their structures.
I've seen so many heroes from Signify just sort of chasing people. And occasionally they're able to find those kills, particularly that one Force Staff up to high ground and then the catch onto the Lone Druid was big.
Yes, Roche may respawn in 10 seconds. They'll maybe check it out, see what's happening, or after the longest respawn in the history in the previous game, they're not gonna even bother.
It's a possibility. It's another long one.
Deary me.
But that gives the Lone Druid enough time to finish off his Radiance, it feels like.
You know, you got me thinking, Gabe, but every time Signify are chasing the Pango away, it feels like the sheep chasing the sheepdogs, right?
A little bit.
Because the Pango are never grouped up. There's always one hero, two heroes, and it's 5 from Signify trying to herd them away from these objectives and towers.
Right. I thought you were going to say like a dog chasing a car. Like when they catch them, what are they going to do?
Well, they killed Lone Druid. They got him.
They got him.
But now he has Radiance. All of a sudden, he is a different beast.
The bear. The bear's ready to go.
Yeah, so that's one lane perpetually pushed out now.
God, Lone Druid is such a freaking fast bear.
Zoom. He going.
But they are pushing bottom lane now.
Yeah, I always feel like this tier 2 tower on Radiant side just falls for free. No one defends it. It's high risk, low reward.
It's just bottom lane in general for Radiant is just awful.
Oh. Well, there's the glimpse away. They will still chase him down, though, with the bear.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, I think that he had an idea that that was going to happen to him. He just kind of ran around in circles. It's like, I've done my job.
The inevitable is coming.
I mean, he sort of broke that smoke gank from running the rest of his cores, so he definitely did do his job there.
But here comes the issue. Every lane is now going to start trending towards the dire side of the map. Ember Spirit really, you know, the only hero that can deal with these waves and pushing them out. He's dealing with top right now.
But he also went for phase boots instead of bots, so his ability to push them out also and get the split push working is less so than you would normally see from this hero. Doom is going to be bottom, continuing to pressure on. I mean, how do you take this fight if you're Signify? Like, what's the ideal way that you start it?
Delicately.
Okay.
Smoke, find the Brewmaster with a Doom. Hope you don't get Black Hold, or if you do get Black Hold, you've got Rubik to steal and cancel.
Okay.
Static Storm has to go on, what, the Bane +1? Bane plus Brew plus Enigma?
Well, there's a lot of theory crafting.
This is, again, everything has to go perfectly. There are so many puzzles. Oh, Blizzard, no.
If they can get out with it this year, this is kind of okay for Signify. They just need to escape
Static
now.
Storm's good. Position's good.
Oh, the Black Hole. They're just dropping it onto the OD, and that's it.
Here we go.
All right, stolen Black Hole, but now Naive, he turns it back around. The Black Hole comes immediately going to be broken. And they are looking to go out with a whimper here, although the good blink away comes from the Doom, and they find the courier kill as well. Now OD trying to make something happen against Iceberg here. The Doom is going to connect over on the west side of the fight. And it looks like it's onto this Ursa. So the chase is coming. The slow burn that continues from the Radiance. And Ursa, not even worried about being doomed, is still just chasing these heroes down. They want to bring him down. Can they kill him off in time? They will. So Signify find themselves this kill into Ursa. Now going to also take down the Lone Druid. Signify Dota making some plays.
Roshan's alive. They can't really take it, though.
Yeah, I feel like Pango should have just gone to Roche after Ursa got doomed and he stayed for way too close to a fight.
Man, when they were coming down that ramp, it looked like it was going to be like beautiful from Signify. Pango just a little bit too quick coming down. Managed to close the gap on some of those core heroes very, very quickly.
I mean, it cost them buybacks, but those buybacks were well worth it. And now Doom finds himself an Enigma. Can they kill him off? He's already used Black Hole in the last fight, but the Nightmare comes and that should stop the pressure, I think. God, Blizzard going up high ground there is very dangerous, and well, Ghostic, it's the kibosh on it as he chases them forward, and no chance. Not really a great way to get out of this one as Naive. They're not going to chase.
The thing about their lineup is, even if they get a kill or two, they still can't contest the Roche.
Yeah. Maybe if Bruce Split was down, but it's going to be back up again in 15 seconds. And yeah, game is hard. So they are moving into the pit right now on the Pango. And Lone Druid runs into the Disruptor, so they use the Static Storm. Iceberg kind of in no man's land, but they will have that Savage Roar available as the chase comes. Ghostic finds his man, able to get that split off, and now the chase comes a bit further forward. Swifty, can they chase him down with the bear? It doesn't look like it.
In the pit, though, Ember Spirit's going in. And Naive? This is problematic.
Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
Doom now, though, being pinched in between.
And on the other side of it, they also have the Fiend's Grip being used. So Ember completely isolated from the rest of his team. They're still chasing around. They're able to steal Fiend's Grip and now turn it on to Ghostic, but they take the kill onto Blizzard, and Crowley eventually is going to die as well. They were not able to find the kill onto Ursa, who TP'd back to the Shrine.
And there is no buyback on the Ember Spirit.
They were not on the same page on side of Pango. Ursa almost died there while they were chasing... used the split to actually kill the Disruptor, didn't catch OD there. OD used the buyback, so he needed to run back, and now it's going to be a second row for them, Cheese and Aegis.
And as I was saying earlier, the Pango are definitely going to 2-0 Signify here.
Yeah, it's looking rough. I mean, I think that also Pango are just a little bit more, I don't know. They're a little bit more experienced of a team, too. Like, they've been around the block more than a few times.
Yeah, they seem to outplay in the lanes. I think the draft has let Signify down a couple of times now.
Yeah.
Where they've tried to adapt and react too heavily to their opponents. And 12-1 odds. Dear Lord.
Seems generous to Signify. As they're going to walk up high ground and take down a set of racks potentially. Blizzard maybe going to try and make a play?
I mean, it's really easy to set the odds. You check how much gold advantage they have. Now it's 13K.
Ah.
Is that what they're doing?
I think so.
That's absolutely how it works.
Well, they take down the barracks. The jump in, nice play coming from the Doom. They have the Sanities afterwards and will kill off the Ursa. Although maybe not, because they have Guardian Greaves, and that item is very, very balanced. Also chasing on the other side of it, the Doom. Ghostic, and they're going to just drop the black hole onto him. Rubik trying to get the position. He wants it so badly, but the Malefice comes out afterwards. No, he's just going to get the black hole. But I don't know if it's going to matter. He's so low, and they're going to chase him. No chance, still running. Crowley wants to keep the black hole desperately. They're actually going to be able to keep him alive.
My goodness.
So Signify somehow, some way, are staying alive and keeping their heroes alive to take this fight afterwards. And now they have Black Hole. Bruce Split's about to wear off.
They had elements of perfection, right? The Blink two-man stomp, the Doom is good, the Blizzard Ember dancing in and out of the fight.
Oh,
and the Black Hole for the Rubik.
He finds it, able to get him. Swifty, no, they turn it back
around. Does he have a remnant on Ember? He does, no!
And Swifty, the root connects because it always is going to there. And GG, well played as called, as Pango take him down 2-0.
A different Pango than from what we saw yesterday. Much, much cleaner, much more crisp. Their drafts look very solid. Signify, a different story.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you thought that Signify is going to win, but Pango, some old CIS names playing for this team, and I was surprised that they played so bad yesterday. Now they're playing way better, and
if they can play like that consistently,
hey,
they could look good this tournament.
Yeah, even on the first series yesterday, the second game where they had a DP, I think they had a really good draft. It was just not well executed. And Slayer has been performing good today. Same goes for Iceberg, especially the game number 1 where he just went ham on that OD.
Well, a very impressive showing from the Pango as they end up finishing it off 2-0. They're going to have to play against Mineski next. How do you guys feel about that matchup, though?
Question marks. Because I think stylistically they're both reasonably similar. They like the 5-man push. They like this group up. They like the Enigma pos 4.
Right.
They love buying these utility items and just shoving into objectives. But they also have the same inconsistencies where, you know, a hero will get caught out. Like Arjit will be pushing side lane, he'll get caught. We'll have Iceberg get caught on the side lane somewhere. And I think that kind of lack of discipline is definitely something that both teams suffer from. But if both bring their A game, that's going to be an absolute cracker of a series.
I mean, we saw it yesterday, and Mineski were able to 2-0. And like we said, this is a very different Pango than we saw on day number 1. So maybe they're going to be able to take this momentum and build it into the second series. Man. We're done. That's going to be it for today as we finish off here. Pango able to 2-0 over Signify. And I think that there's still a lot of questions to be answered about this team. Signify, I don't know if I would want to label them as like as the worst team here at this tournament. I think that they're one of the weaker ones, but they can put up a win against anybody on any given day. Would you guys agree with that?
I'm not sure they can win against anyone here against the Keen Gaming.
Yeah, probably not.
It's a good practice for them. This team has potential to grow. It's a good practice for them. They're playing against international teams. But I don't think anyone expected them to win this tournament, to be honest. But if they stick together, there's always a potential of them becoming a good... They're probably the best Indian team right now, right?
So like they've looked good against, they've taken games off Tigers. They've looked good against Detonator, against Southeast Asian teams. They've looked reasonably solid, and they're kind of tier 2 in that Southeast Asian region when they play in that region. Coming into an international LAN, they've struggled, and I think they play.
You can't just show up and expect them. They're I don't know. This is tier 2.5, tier 3 scene, so you can't expect them to come and win against some of these more known teams that has so much international experience. But it's a good practice again for them, and if they keep showing at the tournaments, they might switch to higher tier scene.
Honestly, you look at the way the lanes were set up and the way the players played in disadvantageous matchups. Yeah. You think that the players are good. The players are solid. The fact that they've set themselves up to a downfall with their draft, that is the main issue for me, is that when they've got first pick and they're not playing that pivot third pick into something big, they pick a Crystal Maiden game 1, which doesn't give them initiation. Game 2, they're kind of struggling with the last pick and they're thinking, what do we do to salvage this draft? You don't want to be salvaging a draft with last pick. You want to be slamming the nail in the coffin towards your opponents. I think that is the biggest thing for Signify, is just nailing your drafts.
Okay. Well, we're going to nail the drafts. We're going to nail the end of the show as well as we finish off here from the Cologne studios. It's going to end the coverage of the B stream. Of course, the main stream is just going to continue on throughout the group stages, and then in a couple of days, we're heading on over to the arena. So stay tuned. More to come from there. But from all of us here in Cologne and all the production folks out back, the OBS as well, shout outs to them. And we'll see you guys next time for more from ESL 1. Bye-bye.
Previously on ESL 1 Birmingham.
What a dream way to begin the day.
And now we continue. Get ready for the Birmingham Brawl.
It's time! There is no place like home. Universe goes down. Look at the swing. Asher coming in with the combo. GG is called.
ESL 1 Birmingham 2019.
Think he can't shine through the dark? Stream a Roshan Steele in high resolution? And record a play for the history books? Watch this. Think he can't make a victory go viral? Watch this. Think a support can't be in the spotlight? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, a legend can rewrite his own legacy. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
This is Game Fuel. 16 ounces of pure annihilation.
Tastes like berry-flavored wind sauce.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
You're not weak. Your mind is always racing. It never rests. So let the earth quake as you break through.